Were you good at it?
Oh yeah, quite good.
Please say hello to your fans in Korea and please introduce yourself.
To all you folks out there in Korea that have watched my lifting over the years and supported me, first thing I'd like to say is I really appreciate your support. It's truly heartfelt for me. And my name is Ashton Rouska. For those of you who don't know my name, 25 years old, currently living near DC in the United States. I lived in Seoul for almost 3 years actually. I haven't been back since 2015. I am an active duty US Army officer and also a fourth-year doctoral candidate for clinical and clinical psychology. So my father was enlisted in the Army for 21 years. So we actually moved around quite a bit. North Carolina, Texas, Alaska, Maryland, South Korea, Germany. I lived there for the 8th and 9th grade. And then every summer when I was in high school, I would come back to visit my best friend. I've been meaning to go back for the longest because I have a few friends that are in and out of Korea. So it was fun. I loved it. I mean, I think when it comes to like just most martial arts and like combative sports in general and wrestling, like I really enjoy those a lot.
Were you good at it?
Oh yeah, quite good. But yeah, I technically first started lifting in Korea when I was 13. I would sneak into the gym when I was 12. They didn't think I was 12, so I'd be able to get in. So I did my first competition when I had just turned 16 years old. I was living in Alaska. They had a meet going on there. I showed up, get in, and from there it just kind of took off. Yeah, sometimes I think the world and the universe, you know, I don't want to sound too too hippie-ish here, but I just think that sometimes the stars align and opportunities just present themselves. When opportunity comes knocking, you know, you have to make the conscious decision to open the door or to not answer the door. I saw a USAPL Korea almost by chance. It felt like I didn't even think I would come across something like that. It came up. I was like, haven't seen this before. They was talking about a meet like in Korea, and I was like, yeah, it'd be a lot of fun to compete in Korea. So I just left a comment. I was like, this would be fun. And then they responded like pretty fast. They were like, really? And I was like, yeah, really. And then they were like, you know, if you're about it, we're about it. I was like, okay. So, you know, one thing led to another and just kind of planned it all out.
When are you planning to arrive in Korea for the trip?
Yeah, so as of now, I'm supposed to get there on, I'm supposed to fly out of here the 23rd of August. And then I'm supposed to fly back on the 30th of August. It's pretty substantial distance. Fortunately for me, I don't sleep a lot anyway, so I think I'm going to be fine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so 3 things you're looking for in this trip.
Thanks. Well, one, competing. I love competing, you know. Love getting out there and doing my thing. Love meeting, you know, new people in the process. Just having a good time in general. And one would have to be competing. Number 2 would have to be food. That's why I asked the question. Because I love Korea. At a Korean restaurant, actually. Number 3 would honestly have to be a mixture of things. Just miscellaneous things. Like I do want to do a little bit of, excuse me. I do want to do a little bit of sightseeing down there. I'd like to see some of my old friends. Maybe have, you know, some soju. And just like have a. My number 1 goal is to win. My number 2 goal is to do better than I did at nationals. Number 3 is just to, you know, to tune up and to kind of, you know, get my feet wet again in the competitive environment. Those are really my 3 big goals. I mean, I don't like know any of them personally, but I've watched some of them on Instagram, and you know, a couple of them are pretty strong. Like there's the, I don't know his name. There's a heavier guy that benches a lot. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, him. He's pretty impressive. And I've been hearing about, I think his name is Keegan or Keegan fellow.
Keenan Lee.
Keenan, yeah. Looking forward to meeting him too. At least I've heard about him, so just his reputation precedes.
Yeah.
And then of course, there's others too, like there's yourself, and there's like Esther, and then there's like people that I've just seen through social media. But of course, I've never really met any of you folks, but I'm really excited too. You all seem like a good group of folks. Oh wow. For me too, I love competition. In the total, yeah, I think so. But they had narrowly missed their last deadlift, which would have given them the win. And then I actually, on my last deadlift, I mean, on all my attempts, I dialed back significantly what I was going to do, just because I had lost like some weight in Vegas, being dehydrated, and just not getting it up. I just put in exactly what I needed to win, and I didn't try to push further than that move. Usually I don't. In Vegas, when I was out, and we were going out every day and doing a bunch of nonsense, I kind of enabled to cut weight. But generally speaking, I don't intentionally cut weight. So it depends. Like on weekdays when I train, it's usually in the evening after I've like worked for the day and stuff like that. Maybe have had one meal. But on the weekends, like when I train every Saturday and I do my heavier sessions, I usually don't eat until after the session. So I just don't eat until then. That's a good question. Well, for me, first and foremost, the number one thing that I think guide my decision and where I'm going to compete in powerlifting, like kind of my compass, is the depth and level of competition that I'm going to go against. For me, at the end of the day, if I want to be the best powerlifter and the strongest I can be, for me, it's a matter of being forced to be put in uncomfortable situations where I'm against people where I can potentially lose. So if I'm just against people where it's, no offense to them, if it's easy wins for me, then to me it's less than that. But if I can actually get excited for something and go against somebody that's formidable and who has the potential of beating it, it makes it all, it just makes it more worthwhile. And at that time, in the USAPL, I had that. Bob Matthews was the 100 kilogram champion. And then there's Brandon Petrie. He was the 90 kilogram champion. I know both of them personally. We're on the same team. We want to each other. It's like some heavy hitters out there. I'm getting to compete with those guys, whereas the IPF, like the depth of competition for me wouldn't have been the same there as it was here. So that's like the first and foremost, biggest decision. The second thing was the Pro Series in the USAPL was very exciting and enticing for me. And it seemed to be, decently lucrative, just as much, if not more than the IPF route, aside from the Sheffield, which still hasn't happened yet. We'll see how it goes when it does. And then finally, there's also just like convenience. There's a lot more USAPL meets. There's more breadth and depth to those meets. If I were to do it in the now, there's other countries hosting up these meets. And, I'd like to see this model, succeed in the long run. We'll just have to see how it goes. We incorporate feedback the first year. We fix things that we do wrong. I think it could be a sustainable model. So we'll see how it goes. But I have faith in it. Yeah, so that was another major issue with the IPF on the side for the US. I mean, the US tended to test for them really anywhere else in the world. So you get people coming to IPF World Championship from countries where they've been tested. And there's Algeria. A lot of people from Algeria come and they have these crazy consistent totals and squats. And then, some of them fail the drug tests. It's the same thing with Russia. Russia was actually banned from the IPF for a while. The bottom line up front is that a lot of countries around the world just weren't testing. They would show up to Worlds and a lot of those lifters just weren't testing. Being drug tested and being not tested. You see where the problem comes from. And that's kind of, I think, one issue the USAPL had. Not to say the USAPL didn't have its own faults, it certainly does, but we do test much more frequently and more often. And I think to keep the integrity of the federation and drug testing, we need to test, as much as we can within reason. We don't have to test every single person every single week. We don't have to do something else. And I feel like the USAPL has made some pretty substantial efforts to do that. Um, most meets I do, I get tested. Not every single one, but but almost all, but like most of them. I wasn't tested at nationals, surprisingly. And I've been out of meet tested a few times too over the years. The most recent time I got out of meet tested was about a week ago.
A week ago?
About a week ago. At my gym. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, I get why we do it. I get why that's there, and I don't mind why that. If it means okay. Well, to be honest, the main reason why I haven't done more untested meets is almost strictly because of timing. There were meets that I was invited to where, because I also know John Hackett. And there's meets that have gone on that I would have loved to do, but I just couldn't do at each time. It's not off the table that I would do some of those meets. However, I pretty much made the commitment to myself to never use any towards or steroid or substance. Mm-hmm. And I never have, and I never plan to. So even if I do compete at those meets, I could still, they could still test me. I could still request testing. So it's not off the table. And I would just be a tested lifter and untested meet. And two, if it had gotten to that point in the next 2 or 3 years, I think there's always going to be people coming into the sport. I think someone always is going to show up that's just really crazy strong. It always happens. I've been doing it long enough to see it over 2, 3, 4 years down the road. I might be considering doing another strength sport. CrossFit. And technically, some of those substances, necessarily legal to do. And again, as a military officer, I prefer not to engage in activities or any activity. Not to say that some don't, but and I don't think that people should necessarily get in trouble for that. But if there's a possibility of it happening, I just don't want to risk it. My least favorite. My two least favorite are the rogue rack and the ghost rack. Ghost rack's not terrible. I like to bench out of the ghost rack, especially. I like to bench out of the rogue rack too. Squatting out of those is a nightmare, especially when you're going past a certain weight threshold. I'm squatting with these really heavy weights. With the plates, just because the arms that hold up the bar, they're so much thicker, and so the issue is when you're trying to walk it out or take a step to the side, you inevitably hit it. And when 800 pounds is on your back, what happens is you kind of have to fight for your life for a little bit, and it's scary. But dangerous. And yeah, it's very dangerous. More dangerous than it needs to already be squatting that country.
Right.
If I'm looking that heavy, I like to mitigate risk as much as possible. And not add unnecessary factors that just make it way more dangerous. Personally, my favorite racks, I would say, I really like the Texas Spin System rack, especially the new one. Especially the new one is very nice. And the ER, I like to squat out of the ER. The height holes are closer together, so you can really adjust the height to a point where it's near perfect form. It's strong enough to hold the weight just fine, and you can really dig into it. But the bench on it is not as good. So, there's give and take with every rack. But as long as I have a rack, at the end of the day, it's really what matters. I can train out of anything. The Alico rack is really good too. I should have mentioned that. I like that one a lot. I think overall, holistically, that one is probably up there in Texas. That's the best.
We're using the ghost rack for this week, by the way, just to let you know.
Okay.
I might skip that part. I might edit that part out where you're saying, my least favorite is ghost. I'll just leave the wrong part.
That's fine though. I've trained out of the ghost rack. So don't get me wrong. The bench on the ghost rack is really good. The squatting wouldn't really be bad. The only issue is that the where the bar sits on those rolling metal pins. It's just the pin has a weird groove in it. And the bar sometimes goes to that groove. And if you want to set up, you have to get it out of that groove.
Start with a simple one. What's your favorite lift?
Squat. There's a philosophical reason behind this. When I was, younger and more rambunctious, deadlift would have been my answer. I love deadlifting, It looks cool and you're pulling heavyweight off the floor and all that stuff. And, people will notice. But for me, now that I'm a more mature, old man lifter, I think squat is my favorite because, let me put it to you this way. So with the deadlift, a person can really have extreme leverages or not even have extreme leverages, but leverage the lift in a way where they can lift a lot of weight. Like I've seen a lot of guys that are very physically like unassuming that deadlift like 700 pounds, or 800 pounds, or 600 pounds. And it's like, you don't really look like you lift, but you're deadlifting 750 pounds. It's kind of wild. The thing that I like about squats kind of like just the greatest like equalizer of lifting. Like you'll never look at a person who squats 700 and say, this guy doesn't look like he lifts. You know what I mean? The squat is a little more, I think, challenging, and I think it's just better overall. You can't really cheat squats that much. You know? People can cheat a deadlift, you can't really cheat a squat. Yeah, like show me a guy who squats 700 and looks small. I mean, there might be one or two, but for the most part, most of them don't.